It's Tuesday, September 17th, 2019. Let's see here. A couple updates on things before I even get to talking about Vermont and the cabin. My sister got married a week and a half ago, so congratulations again to Emily and Tyler. That was a great weekend, fun time. And Willow's digging a hole over here. It's kind of distracting. Hang on. Okay. And other updates around my life is I no longer work for Foley Carrier Services, where I was for 4 years, which actually opens up some opportunities, all the opportunities, I suppose, because now I can make whatever changes I want with where I live and where I work. And in the short term, though, that changes things a bit for what I'm working on up here, because right now it's September, and one thing that could happen is I could end up living here in the winter, working up in Vermont, or at least spending more time in here. So I need to prepare a lot more firewood. I have almost 1.5 cords, which is usually enough, but I want to have at least 3, possibly 4. It's late in the season to prep firewood, so if I cut down green trees right now, they won't be too dry by the time I burn them. But there are trees that I've cut down over the past couple of years, ones that had fallen that were blocking paths or to make a path wider. I cut them up and just left them where they were, mainly because they're not close to the cabin and I didn't need the wood at the time. But now's a good time to put in the extra effort and haul that wood down here, and gonna get a lot more ready. So I'm gonna focus on the firewood, and I'll finish insulating the addition to the cabin, because those two things go hand in hand with preserving heat. But I'm not really going to focus on anything else in the inside, not worry about building the bathroom or kitchen or any of that yet, because really it's just structure. We got a structure, heat, need to make sure I have enough heat just for whatever happens the next few months for me. It's Wednesday now, and time to make breakfast. So we're gonna throw together a breakfast sandwich. Simple stuff. Bagel, egg, cheese, and most important part, Spam singles. Who needs refrigeration when you've got these? Freaking single serving of Spam that'll last forever, past the zombie apocalypse. You'll get over 1,000% your daily recommended value of sodium from them, and enough calories to get you through the day. So season up the pan with vegetable oil. Of course, you can use any kind of cooking oil, but I season it every time I use it. I'm going to use the propane stove. I could do this on the wood fire, but fire's not going right now because I'm going to head out soon, and I wouldn't want to leave the fire burning. So let's get this going. There's your Spam. That's what it looks like before we warm it up. Spam goes on first, so I'm gonna keep that going the longest. I mean, you could eat it right out of the bag. It's processed meat and all, but I like to have it a little crispy. Now once the Spam has been cooking for a bit, getting pretty brown on the one side, throw my bagel on here because everyone knows they're better toasted. Let those brown a bit. Perfect. Take the bagel off. Let's see if the Spam's ready to flip. Probably. Pretty much. And finally, the egg. Warm the cheese a bit, throw it on top of the Spam so it stays off the frying pan. Hopefully that egg's somewhere around over medium to over easy, as long as I didn't overcook it. There you have it, my breakfast sandwich. This is pretty much as fancy as it gets. We're over past the outhouse, obviously. You can see the cabin in the distance. So let's go over where I plan on getting all this firewood from. Those two stumps right there are from trees that I dropped, I think 2 or 3 months ago. So I'd already been planning on prepping those. They were already cut up, and then this trip I've been carrying them up to the log splitter. It probably wouldn't hurt to use the four-wheeler, but that's out of commission right now. So I've been getting my steps in. All right. There's some of the logs from those trees. About half of them have already been cut, split, and stacked. So all those logs need to come up here, get split, and then I'll stack them, I think, right against the addition here. So that woodshed is filled. I've got some kindling lined up here, drying in the sun. It'll dry pretty quickly because of how small it is. Willow, this way. Good girl. I cut up some standing deadwood that here right on the side of one of my trails. It's got a little more rot than I was hoping, but it's totally dry. It'll burn. It'll just burn quickly. I think this piece is a little better. Get a few good logs out of it. Then right here, there was a tree in the woods that I had cut 3 years ago. So the part that was laying on the ground is full of rot, but there was a part sticking up. I cut that up. So a few good logs out of this one too. Let's see. That's so good. And here we are, that tree, yep, going across and coming out. That's the tree that fell over in the winter, and I had to cut it up a few months ago. It was totally blocking the trail. And I didn't need the wood at the time. Also, wasn't really a straight tree. It's not the best wood for stacking, but any wood will burn. So that I can cut up and haul back. Between all those options of wood, I think I'll have enough. There, got all those logs pulled out of the woods from that downed tree and cut them into manageable sizes. So once my four-wheeler's put back together, I'll be able to haul those up to my cabin. And they're pretty dry, so that's good. Something's walking back there. Willow, Willow. Well, maybe a deer running around back there, who knows. All right. Whew. My legs need a break from carrying logs all over the place. So I'm gonna build some stairs for the porch. I bought the wood for this, must have been 2 years ago, and just haven't gotten to it. It's, not totally necessary, but a nice to have. And it won't be too backbreaking, should be a pretty simple project. And get that done. And then it'll be fewer unfinished projects, less wood lying around waiting to be used. So I've got the patio blocks down there in the ground, all leveled. Nothing's attached yet. But it turns out I'm not going to get this done this trip because I'm going to head down to Connecticut for an open house for possible job opportunity, and that's this evening. So not much left to do on this, but I want to make sure everything's straight and level when I put it together, and I don't want to rush that. So that's all the work for this trip.